Joyous for us to share this moment with you, the students, families, and friends, because you have contributed so much to their journey and education. And we want to take a minute for the students to honor you. So students, let's thank our family and friends for everything they've given you during your time at the college. We're going to begin tonight with the presentation of honors in the department, and that will be presented by Professors Tara Ahmadinejad and Tracy Hassas.
All right, we are delighted to present the honors in drama, theater, dance, and fashion. And when I call your name, please come up to the front to receive your certificate. Jael Campbell. Victoria Costa. Stephanie Green. Alexis Puebla. Mia Merton. Rebecca Price. And Fatima Stacker. Presenting the Dance Award will be Professor Edisa Weeks.
The Dance Award is given to a student whose generous spirit greatly contributes to the culture and dynamics of the dance program. When Valentina Olaya Flores started taking dance classes in 2022, she didn't have extensive technical training. However, what she did have was an eagerness to learn and absorb information, a natural facility for dance, and a strong, generous presence as a performer. It is wonderful to see her evolution at Queen's College, from her very first performance in Going by Mariana Cosmecatos, performing in student works by Jose Murillo, Stephanie Green, and Brian Ureña, as well as faculty works by myself, Carolyn Webb, Marshall Davis Jr., and Kiara Page. Whether it was tap, soca, contemporary, or reggaeton, Valentina brought a joy and expressiveness to the creative process and performances. In addition, Valentina has taught workshops for Dance Union in Urban Champeta and Puya from Colombia, and is a generous cheerleader of her peers' work. It is deeply satisfying to see Valentina connect to her cultural roots and evolve as a thinker and choreographer in creating Radix and Erizada for this year's Student Choreography Showcase. The work highlighted dances and rhythms from Colombia and emphasized the importance of finding your own individuality, connecting to your roots, and how through dance we can heal and find community. As the performers expressed in the dance, "Wetahe." The department wishes Valentina much success as she embraces the next chapters of her life. It is with joy that I invite Valentina Olaya Flores to accept the Dance Award. Service Award, which is presented to a student who has done outstanding service for the culture and community of the dance program. I first met Brian Urenia in summer 2022 during the pandemic on a Zoom call where he contacted me as an incoming freshman about declaring a dance major. The Zoom call did not fully communicate the passion, creativity, drive, and dedication for all things dance that is Brian Urenia. In 2023, in his sophomore year, Brian became president of Dance Union. Dance Union is a student club that seeks to broaden the understanding of dance as a serious art form by providing workshops and performance opportunities on Queens College campus. Dance Union also promotes student leadership and represents the voice of dance students within the department. As the advisor of Dance Union, I meet with the e-board before the start of each semester to discuss their plans for the academic year. When I met with Brian in August of 2023, Brian had already put together an incredibly detailed, color-coded, and impressive spreadsheet of who was teaching workshops during free hour for the entire academic year. That's approximately 20 workshops and a significant amount of organizing. Under Brian's leadership, Dance Union's workshops have included K-pop, salsa, heels, contemporary, Colombian folklorico, jazz, whacking, flamenco, and so much more. He's also organized for guest artists and dance alumni to teach workshops. Brian has also improved the branding and look of Dance Union on Instagram. Through bake sales and audience appeals, Dance Union raised the funds to purchase a GoPro camera, which they use to record workshops and then post the videos on Instagram. This spring, Brian is a key part of a student team that's organizing the very first CUNY-wide dance battle, which is happening this Saturday, June 6th, here in Goldstein Theater. And the battle is an opportunity for CUNY students to come together, showcase their talent, network, take dance workshops, and celebrate the joy of dancing. So if you are a CUNY student, we hope you'll either sign up to compete in the battle or be in the audience and cheering the contestants. I am delighted to celebrate Brian as he embraces the next chapter of his life. I will personally miss Brian's leadership, energy, and creativity resonating throughout the dance studios, dance lobby, and department. Brian, it gives me great joy. The next presentation is the Martin Aruden Technical Theater Scholarship by Ralph Carhart.
The Martin Neruden Award is named after Marty Neruden. That's what everyone called him. He graduated from Queens College in 1978, and when he left school, he was already a member of IATSE, the Theatrical Backstage Union. He got a job soon after college at Vanco, a production company here in New York City, and he rose up far enough in the company that when they opened up an office in Orlando, he was sent to be a part of it. In 1995, Vanco became a part of PRG, the industry-leading provider of technical equipment. By the time of his death in 2022, Marty was the vice president of PRG's Orlando operation. He never forgot his time here at Queens College, where he shocked his family by majoring in theater. His father was an immigrant from the Philippines who was orphaned. His mother was a first-generation Polish who quit school at 14 to work during the Great Depression. It would have been easy for them to insist that their son do something more practical with his education, the final 2 years of which were the first time New Yorkers had to pay to go to CUNY. But to their credit, they didn't. And according to Marty's sister, he ended up making more money than all of them. Marty had a playful spirit, one that would occasionally get him into a little trouble, such as the phone call he once made home when he was a student here. Hi, Mom. I'm okay, but I'm at the hospital.
What happened?
I caught my hand jumping over the fence.
Why were you jumping over a fence?
To get in the parking lot.
Why'd you need to get into the parking lot?
To get to my car.
What car?
I'm okay, but was something that Marty said to his mother a lot. Marty loved his time here at QC, so much so that when he passed, he left behind an endowment intended to be awarded to a student who showed great promise at working backstage, the world in which Marty dedicated his career. It takes a great deal of courage to make that choice, just as it must have taken Marty all those years ago. It is not a career for the lazy or the foolish, or for those who never learn the important skill of thinking around corners. It is a career that comes with all of the effort that goes into making the wonderful magic that we make here on stage, and relatively little glory. Playbill does not feature interviews with stagehands or board operators, and the Tonys do not give out a Tony to stage managers. But every single show on Broadway knows that the stage manager is the heart of their production, and heart is a good place for me to start when discussing this year's recipient of the Neruda, Mia Merton. Mia is smart, motivated, passionate about theater, and has heart enough for everyone in this room. This fall will be the start of my 20th year here at Queens College, and that long tenure has made it easy for me to forget just how scary it is to start a new thing. It's a scary proposition for everyone, and I don't think Mia will mind me telling you that it was probably scarier for her than most people. But she did not let her fear stop her. Excited by what she learned in the stage management class, she wanted to try it out for real. On her first try, she stage managed the Theater Guild production of Cowboy Mouth, and apparently had enough fun that she agreed to also manage the department production of The Bacchae this past fall. Both times, she faced her fears, and she got the job done. And she did it with that very important stage manager balance of authority and gentleness. The performances of that show were a well-oiled machine, in part because Mia inspired everyone through her leadership. This semester, she did something even braver, something that took even more heart. She told me no. Twice, I think. I asked her if she would do a couple stage management adjacent tasks, and she had the wisdom to say, "I'm sorry, Ralph, but I'm too busy with schoolwork to help you out this time around." And I can't tell you how much hope that answer gives me for Mia. It is very easy in this business to sacrifice your own boundaries to try and be a part of the necessary team it takes to make a show happen. That way lies burnout. The fact that at such a young age she did not sacrifice those boundaries makes me even prouder of her. Mia is not slowing down. She already has an internship in Saratoga, where she's from, and we are still waiting to hear back from another potential employer this summer. However, whether or not she gets that gig, I have little doubt that she will keep succeeding in this business for as long as she wants to, because Mia has the heart of an eagle. Go Birds! Mia, you have been an incredible addition to Queens College. The department and I are going to miss you, but we cannot wait to see what you accomplish next. Please come up and accept this year's Martin Neruda. You have richly deserved. Will be Emily Ripley, giving out the Carol Fagosich. Did I say that right? Look at that. And Jerry Dizio Award for Excellence in Fashion and Design.
Hi everyone, I can't see you, but I know you're out there. So what can I say about Alexis Puebla? His contribution to every aspect of the fashion and design program has been so profound that I call him the boss of us all. He's a superior researcher, a fearless explorer in clothing design, and a master organizer on par with Marie Kondo. He worked on 3 different exhibits for us, most importantly among them, Quinceañera, Dress and Memory and Latine Culture at the Godwin Turnback Museum on campus. Acting as community liaison, amongst his other jobs, he single-handedly secured the majority of the quinceañera objects from his own Queens neighborhood for the exhibition. He tirelessly worked on the creation of hundreds of fabric flowers for the exhibition with us. Alexis just got involved For exhibitions, he assisted with object selection, curation, research, exhibition design, dressing mannequins, and mounting them on site. He assisted with the multiple stages of exhibition installation on every aspect of the necessary labor to stage these shows. He presented his own excellent research during these exhibitions. Alexis volunteered countless hours of his time when our program was in transition. He was always fully present and was unfailingly kind and generous to everyone. Did I mention that he also designed costumes for the student choreography showcase? Alexis kept calm and carried on under all circumstances. An active style maven, Alexis also worked as an intern in our sewing lab, where he generously assisted students with their projects. He served as a social media intern for the Fashion and Design program, and also as the treasurer of the Fashion Design Club. We are so pleased to offer him this award. Stagger across the floor. I am now presenting the Phyllis G. Tortora Service and Leadership Award in Fashion and Design. Oops. Apologies. We are pleased to present the Irene Bush Fashion and Design Award to Victoria Costa. Victoria came to us as a transfer student, and we've been delighted to welcome her into the Fashion and Design program at Queens College. At first, we admired her virtuoso style of dress, but came to a greater understanding of her creative abilities when we saw her final projects. In other courses, we discovered what a thoughtful and alternative thinker she really is. I also can't say enough about Victoria's profoundly kind and cheerful manner. She's been serving as an intern in the sewing lab, where she gracefully assists and supports students with their projects. Victoria designed dance costumes for the student choreography showcase at the college for 2 years running. And even under extreme pressure with last-minute changes, she was able to make them. And last but not least, I'm presenting the Phyllis G. Tortora Service and Leadership Award in Fashion and Design to Stephanie Geraldo Debreu. There's no one more deserving of this leadership award than Stephanie, whose Instagram hashtag should be leader, leader, leader. Stephanie makes things happen. She created the Fashion Design Club at the college and has served as its president for the last 3 years. She has organized and managed many complex events, along with serving as the club's social media manager. The people at Amazon Prime saw one of her Instagram reels and requested an interview with her for their campus tour series. When Stephanie turns her energy towards something, she is a force to be reckoned with. She wrote about her own quinceañera experience for one of my classes. Stephanie described embodying her spectacular dress for her quince so beautifully that it inspired me to create a whole exhibition to celebrate the dress that sits at the center of the ceremony as a tribute to the Latina communities of New York City.
Woo! Bravo! Yes!
Stephanie was interviewed for channels 2, 7, 11, and CUNY TV during that exhibition. All of the press coverage Stephanie received is so very heady, but what you need to know is that she also assisted on the entire range of tasks to stage our quinceañera exhibition, from concept to takedown, to stitching hundreds of flowers with us. She assisted us with the exhibition The Gift, also staged at the Godwin Turnback Museum. Stephanie volunteered to work on these shows and did so with exceptional goodwill. She has what I call fairy fingers, or the ability to sew fragile historic garments, a very special skill. Stephanie additionally designed costumes for the student choreography showcase. When we moved the program and worked on the installation of the new fashion sewing lab, she gave us a generous amount of her free time. She was always there when we needed her. Stephanie worked on all of these projects while carrying a full load of classes, running the fashion club, and holding a job. She was always game, she was always uncomplaining, and she was always full of energy. For all of this and much more, it is my great pleasure to present the Phyllis G. Totoro Service and Leadership Award in Fashion and Design to Stephanie. And next, to present the Farah Marcellus Choreography Award is Nadia Giordone.
This year's 2026 Farah Marcellus Choreography Award goes to two individuals, Stephanie Green and Brian Orena. I have to say, this award holds a special place in my heart. I have a special connection with it because not only was Farah my cousin, but she was also my best friend. So it's an honor to be here tonight to honor her memory and to honor those who share the same love and passion for dance as she did. Farah Marcellus, as pronounced in French, was affectionately known as Farah. She was born on January 30th, 1974 in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. From an early age, Farah was known for her warm, outgoing nature. Her friendliness was so genuine that her parents often worried she might trust strangers too easily, as she was never hesitant to introduce herself to others. Farah also discovered a deep and lasting love for dance. At family gatherings, she was frequently surrounded by relatives and friends who she performed captivating her audience with the most confidence and joy. Her radiant smile and distinctive laugh were among her most cherished traits. On Saturday mornings, you would find Farah practicing in front of the mirror, immersing herself in African, hip-hop, Haitian, and Latin dance styles with curiosity and discipline. Farah was a student at Queens College, majoring in psychology with a concentration in special education and choreography, blending her commitment to service with her love of artistic expression. She loved the Queens College program, and she poured herself into every class, performance, and every moment in the dance studio. In 1997, Farah unfortunately passed away a month before graduating, and was posthumously awarded her degree. Her family and Queens College faculty started the Choreography Award in Farah's memory. Now turning to this year's awardees for outstanding choreographic explorations and creativity. Stephanie Green, while at Queens College, choreographed two dances that stand out for their musicality and investigation of difficult topics. Aftermath, Aftershock, as a beautiful integrated counterpoint, as well as a variety of dance styles from contemporary to West African dance, salsa, and tap, to delve into the lingering, cascading effects of prejudice and navigating through generational trauma to find healing. Precipice, which integrates yards upon yards of rope, was a thoughtful work that investigated the despair, emptiness, and powerlessness that may lead to suicidal ideations. Brian Orena, while at Queens College, choreographed 3 dances. Plum explored ideas of self-worth and confidence. It addressed issues of feminism and women's position in society and insisted that women's voice be heard in an often chaotic and patriarchal world. The dance was wonderful, theatrical, and epic in scope. Cri de Coeur is also an epic, symmetrical, theatrical, and emotionally resonant dance. It integrated spoken words, whacking, commercial and contemporary dance, as well as visual montage of photos of the dancers with family to process the anguish and suffering families endured when a relative is detained by ICE or deported. In addition, outside of class structure, Brian, in collaboration with Isabella Perez, choreographed the duet Soon, which means to push away or to be prickly. Soon was performed as part of Arts Day and also made it into a short dance video. In the memory of the creative spirit of Farah Marcelis, and for successfully choreographing works that poignantly translated concepts into motion, and for successfully collaborating with their dancers, lighting designers, and costume designers, Jasmine Shu and Saidia Kalam, for creating socially meaningful work. I am delighted to present the Farah Marcelis Award for Outstanding Choreography to Stephanie Green and Brian Orena.
And I'm a theater history professor, and I'm presenting the Richard Henry Hommel Award, which is awarded to two outstanding talented students who best exemplify the positive spirit and enthusiasm of students in drama, theater, dance, and fashion department. So walking into the classroom at 10 a.m. can be a little lonely experience for a professor. It's lonely because we may literally find ourselves alone, waiting for students to arrive, or standing in front of a few unfortunate early risers who now have to endure the professor's completely misplaced frustration. Those early mornings last year in my theater history class were a little less lonely and much less frustrating thanks to one student, an extravagant, jovial, and wonderfully funny student who somehow managed to turn a 9 a.m. theater history class into a space filled with conversations on fashion, pop culture, and the great existential questions of our times. On those same Wednesdays, after the heroic early morning classes, we entered the equally challenging post-lunch hours when everyone in the room was quietly fighting the overwhelming desire to take a nap. In those classes, another student brought a very different kind of energy, quieter and gentler, but just as powerful. With her thoughtful attention to the materials and care for people around her, she somehow made even the sleepiest afternoons feel warmer, lighter, and more connected. Joviality, kindness, and generosity define the two students we're here to honor today, Thierry Jean Louise and Azealia Pope. Both have contributed enormously to the life of the drama, theater, dance, and fashion department, not only through their talent, but through the warmth and positivity that they bring to every space they enter. Over the past 3 years, I have rarely seen anyone around Thierry without a smile on their face. They possess the rare ability to turn even an ordinary halfway conversation into a meaningful encounter, which we've listened to plenty of times. I first witnessed Thierry's extraordinary talent as a performer at the Theatre Guild's 2025 Cabaret, where they delivered a performance of remarkable intensity and emotional power. That same combination of vulnerability and charisma made them an ideal choice for the titular role in The Bad Pie. Throughout rehearsals, Thierry demonstrated exceptional discipline and commitment. They arrived prepared, memorized their lines early, and approached the work with seriousness and care. Yet what stood out most was their generosity as a collaborator. Even in the midst of demanding rehearsals, Thierry made sure the process remained joyful for everyone involved. They are not only a gifted performer, but also an extraordinary ensemble member, selfless, supportive, and deeply invested in creating and nurturing artistic communities. One of the people who helped shape that community was Azealia Pope. She did not initially audition for the Buckeye, and having seen her exceptional performance in the Theater Guild's cabaret, I was quite disappointed. Still, this allowed her to join the production as a dramaturg. Now, what you need to know about being a dramaturg on a production is a very strange responsibility. It is one of the most undefined and fluid roles in the theater. The job fully evolves during the rehearsal process, depending on the company's needs and the dramaturg's sensitive intelligence to recognize where their presence, ideas, and labor can be most useful. Well, this wasn't difficult for Zelia at all. Every time I walked into the rehearsal, she was already deep in conversation with actors and designers, completely at ease, while I, as the senior professor, was perhaps still somewhat awkwardly trying to figure out where exactly my own presence and expertise could be useful. Zelia seemed to know instinctively. She had this beautiful ability to sense when an actor needed encouragement, when someone needed support, or when she herself could jump in and help amid the chaos of rehearsal. Very quickly, it became clear that she was not simply assisting the production team, she had become an essential part of it. As she was part of the musical By the Cyclone, in which a role was even created for her. Her fun personality shone through while she supported the storytelling of 6 protagonists, scene after scene. Now, I cannot emphasize enough how difficult that is and how much emotional intelligence it takes to carve out your own space on stage in an unscripted role without trying to outshine others, but Azealia did just that. Thierry and Azealia remind us that theater is not built by talent alone. It is sustained by kindness, collaboration, humor, generosity, and care for one another. These 2 students embody these values so fully. So Thierry, Azealia, we'll miss you both so much. Thierry, I hate that I cannot look at you. Thierry, your contagious sense of humor and your openness brought so much life to this department. And Azealia, it has been such an honor to watch you grow into the mature, confident woman you are today, thriving in classes, productions, and even in a leadership role in the Theater Guild. You both have meant so much to us, and thank you. And stay who you are. Award will be presented by Professor Megan Healy.
Thank you. It's my pleasure this evening to be awarding the Judith Page Hoffman Award. Judith Page Hoffman was a celebrated student of the department who stood out because of her tremendous leadership abilities, academic achievements, and talent. When she passed unexpectedly, the faculty and her family wanted to create this award in her honor to honor a very special student who deeply embodies the spirit of the department and achieves and excels on all levels. And there is no better recipient of this award than Alexis Puebla. I can't even outline everything Alexis is capable of because Emily has already done so eloquently earlier this evening, except to say that although I did not personally spend a lot of time with Alexis, the time that I did spend with him, he struck me as an incredibly sensitive, thoughtful, and intelligent individual who went out of his way to support and give generously to other students. Many people can achieve academically, but it takes a rare and selfless individual to not only look after themselves, but to reach out to other students and try to rise the level of all boats. And that is who Alexis Puebla is. Everywhere I go in the fashion department, he's there, helping faculty, helping students, working on different projects and supporting everyone around him. Alexis Puebla embodies the spirit of this college. We teach and we learn so that we may serve, and of this department. I congratulate the winner of the 2026 Judith Page Hoffman Award, Alexis Puebla. I'm just going to introduce myself to present the next award, which is the Raymond Gaspar Chairman's Award. Ray Gaspar was the longtime chair of the department, And he was known for he had a great passion for supporting student-driven initiatives. He was a very accomplished director and very passionate about leading the department. And during his time as chair, he forged a lot of friendships and relationships with different people at the college. And so when he passed away, his family felt that the best way to honor his legacy of leadership was that he would really want there to be a special award to connect the members of the college of community who've supported us and our students. And everything that we do here in the department requires a lot of support campus-wide, and so this is a very special award because it allows us to bring up some of our unsung heroes who've done a lot for us and for the students, and other people may not even realize that. The first winner of this award this evening is Mr. Virgil Wong. Virgil works in probably the love-hate relationship is he works in the IT department, but he's not the guy who just tells you to try turning it off and turning it on again. Virgil is a person who goes out of his way to support everyone, meet them on their level, try to solve hard problems. He also works extensively here in the Colden Center, and just recently he completely redid our sound system when it wasn't working, just on the fly. And I can't name all of the different times we've had some really complex problem, and Virgil has dropped whatever he was doing to come over and assist us. He's a really extraordinary individual, and we're very grateful to him. He is unfortunately not able to be with us this evening, but accepting the award on his behalf is his old friend Jeff Greenberg. So I just want to give a round of applause for Virgil, though he's not. Jeff wanted us to know that the words "thank you" would be his whole speech. Which is true. We do have with us tonight, though, the other two recipients of this award, and I'm very excited. Maria Pio and Louise Weinberg of the Godwin Turnback Museum here on campus. Earlier today I had prepared remarks, but then I was giving a final exam this afternoon, and one of the students made a remark, so I threw out everything I was going to say, because she reminded me of the importance of what Louise and Maria are doing here on campus and how it benefits our students. So while I was giving an exam, my exams are projects. I don't want to grade tests because they're boring to take and boring to grade. So the students were presenting their design projects, and one student was very impressed by another student's work, and she got very intimidated, and she said to this other student, "Well, I don't understand, you seem so cultured, and you know all about art, and you know all about these cultural things, and how does a person become that way?" And so I stopped the exam and I said to the students, art is for everyone. It's not for some elite group of people. There's no such thing as being cultured as if it's something that no one else can become. Everyone can be cultured. Everyone can share and participate in art. And we talked about the ways in which people can do that. You can watch plays and films and dances, you can go to fashion shows, you can look at magazines, you can read books, you can go to museums. And what Louise and Maria have done by creating this absolute jewel box treasure of a museum that we have here on campus is to embody the principle that art is for everyone. It's available to everyone. They open the archives to students. They're so generous with their time. They create these incredible exhibits that are free to everyone on our campus, and they put tremendous heart and soul into making the museum alive for the students. We have had the privilege of collaborating with them on several projects, most recently Emily's gorgeous quinceañera exhibit, which was absolutely stunning, and Aniko and I also last year created a play in the museum called Curious Cabinet, in which they generously shared their artworks, and we had work from fashion and art students on display. Maria and Louise embody everything that's good about the arts and that makes people cultured in the most positive way. And so it is my extreme pleasure to honor them for their contributions to campus and the department. Thank you so much to Louise Weinberg and Maria Pio, the winners of the 2026 Ray Gaspar Chairman's Award. All right, now we're getting to the end here. Oh yes, one of the most important and expensive awards of the evening. It's my pleasure to introduce Jeff Greenberg, assisted by Ralph Carhart, to give the Golden Wrench Award.
It's time for the final award of the evening, the one that is the most coveted, because it is the only one that we are going to give away today that can also be used to attach the blades to the undercarriage of your lawnmower and to stop a leaky sink. I speak, of course, of the grand, glorious Golden Wrench. Jeff, would you give me a Golden Wrench, please? I think it's good that it gets a little center stage. Yeah, right. Go ahead, sit. So, to get a Golden Wrench, a person must not just show up and do the job, but you need to show up and do the job well. You have to take initiative, show an eagerness to learn new skills, and want to be a part of the solution when we face trouble. This year, 9 students impressed the faculty with their backstage acumen, and we want to complete the awards section every evening by recognizing and presenting them with this longed-for artistic wonder. This wrench that you will receive today has 2 possible futures. It may end up in a drawer in your house where you will take it out over the years to fix that lawnmower or that sink, and if that's its fate, it is still a noble one. The world needs lawnmowers and sinks. But there's another possibility. You may just find that that wrench is something that you tie to your belt every day and you take it to work when you're hanging lights or you're building scenery. No matter which path it follows, I can promise you that as the years go by and the 24-karat gold leaf I personally pressed into each of these wrenches starts to wear away, you will remember this night and the moment you receive this recognition of the fact that when asked to perform behind the scenes, you shine brighter than gold. Now, this year's Golden Wrench recipients are Luisa Viles, I'm going to announce these next 2 together, Ethan Castley and Hannah Kloon now. Ethan and Hannah are not here. They were exchange students from Ireland. Hannah is probably sitting at JFK right now, heading back. They were here just for the year. Ethan was just here for 1 semester. They were incredible. We love it when the international students come in, and they're very excited about the chance to be here in New York, and Hannah and Ethan really stepped up. Jupiter Corridor is our next one. I am taking a lot of wrenches home tonight. Sadia Kalam. Oh, wait, there. All right, there she is, Jupiter. There they are. Next is Sadia Kalam. Next, Chris Cortez. Once again, Mia Merton. Rebecca Price. And the last one is for Cassandra Thompson. That's it for the awards. Now we're going to present something to the graduates, all of the graduates, and it's going to be presented by Tara Ahmadinejad and Tracy Hazas.
All right, here we are. So I'm going to say the names, and as I call your name, please come forward to receive your graduation graduation gift. I wanted to say prize because I thought I would make it feel like a game show. Your graduation gift. Oganatanur Adagar. Jael Janai Campbell. Janelle Cheatham. Victoria Costa. Ezekiel Edwards. Stephanie Giraldo Diabru. Stephanie Green. Ruben Hashmi. Fairuz Islam. Thierry Jean Lewis. Sadia Kalam. Alvi Khan.
Amidst that switch, okay. Olivia Liveris. Adam Mahiadine. Mia Merton. Valentina Olaya Flores. Jada Perez. Azalea Pope. Juan Prada. Rebecca Price. Alexis Puebla. William Ramirez Rivera. Zaire Robinson. Fatima Stacker. And last but not least, Brian Ureña. Next, with some closing remarks, Professor Megan Healy.
Before I finish the closing remarks, I just wanted to say, graduating students, if you will remain on the stage, we're going to take a picture with you once we've concluded. And loving family, you can also come up and take pictures on stage, because it's fun. So, there's not a lot to say about these extraordinary young people that hasn't already been said, but they are truly extraordinary and a gift. And it has been our gift to be part of their journey. So, to you, the graduating class, I would say that something that I think about a lot as an artist is the words of the writer Tim O'Brien, who told us that storytelling is the essential human activity. Whether it's through the medium of fashion or theater or dance, your lives will always be surrounded by stories, and I hope that on this journey you're about to undertake, that you will always remain open to them, to listening to them, to sharing your own story, and to the gift that is the stories all around you. Your story is just beginning a new exciting chapter. We love you so much, and we are very sad to see you leave, but we know that you will always rise higher. So I invite the audience to rise and please honor the graduating class of 2026. This concludes our program, but we invite you to join us on stage to celebrate these beautiful people. Thank you.
Thank you so much.